Okay, so hi guys, Ace here. Welcome to the, this may be the final episode for now of the, my updated Pokemon Plush Collection for 2018. Featuring generations 5, 6, and 7 all in one go. Now, I said in the previous episodes that, doing it that way might not be practical because the Generation 1 and 2 videos ended up being like so freaking long, but then again the Generation 3 and 4 videos ended up being only about 13 minutes each, meaning I might actually merge those two into one video, which by the time you see this you'll already have known what I decided to do with that. But anyway, let's just get on with it. First of all, the Generation 5. I will try to make these each division of these generations marked clearly as possible, especially with the ticker counter in the top left of the screen. Here we have big old Reshiram. I got at a store. Not a whole lot to say, just a big derpy looking Reshiram. It's pretty much the biggest of the Generation 5 plushies I have. Most of these are pretty small. Here we have one I got fairly recently, secondhand. It's a derpy little chibi superior plushie. Yep. And here I have a Servine from a similar make, model, era as those other ones I talked a lot about in the Generation 3 and 4 videos. Tags cut off, of course, though, so. And here is a Snivy from that same era. This particular one, this Snivy, I'm actually planning to give to a friend. Since, as I'm about to show you, more recently, I got another Snivy that I just kind of slightly prefer now. So, the other one I'm giving away, but this one I'm keeping. Snivy. Snivy. And, now we have 4 in 1. Deerling Summer. Deerling Autumn. Oops. Deerling Winter and Deerling Spring. 3 of these, as you can probably tell, these ones were all from the same batch, the same era. The one with the the tags are cut off, so, but yeah, from that same era as these other ones I've talked about. This one I got a little more recently, actually at Anime North. Yeah, got a lot of plushies at Anime North. I couldn't find ones in this design for the winter one. I don't know why. I found the other 3, but I had to wait until I had a littler one for the winter one. So, there's the 4 seasonal Deerlings. Here we have tiny little Bisharp, or Bisharp, however you want to pronounce it. Again, Anime North. I think. Or was it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I got so many plushies, I only went there 2 years and I got so much stuff. Here's a little Poniard, similar model. I think I got this one at a different convention though. And then, more recently, a big chibi Bisharp or Bisharp. Again, got at a convention. Most of my plushies nowadays I get at conventions. Now here we have a Minxino. Again, the tag's cut off, but it was definitely from similar era and make and model. Like almost a third of all the plushies I own are from that era, from the late 2000s era, early 2010s. Speaking of which, here's a Duat. From that, like, do it. Do it. Here's a tiny little Gotharita. Unfortunately, yeah, little bows are coming off. They're just glued on. You have to find a way to fix that eventually. Just haven't gotten around to it. And here we have a Victini. Again, tags cut off, but it's from that similar era, that make, as the others I've mentioned. Here's a little Emolga. Funny story behind this, I had one just like this before, but I lost it somehow. I don't know how. But then I found another one and got it. So there you go. Here is a Cinccino. Got this one fairly recently. Again, at a convention. Cinccino. Here's a Zorua. Again, tag cut off, but I need to give that era of plushies a name. But yeah, it's from that same make and model. Here is a little Chibi Cobalion. Don't remember where I got this. Might have been a toy store. Here's a slightly bigger Keldeo, yes, that's his name. From that sort of lackluster movie. Some people liked it, I just thought it was kind of dull. But anyway, still like Keldeo. This one's quite recent. Is a sparkly Meloetta. Got it at Toys R Us. In fact, these have been at Toys R Us for a few years. They've got a whole bunch of them. They're on special because nobody's buying them. So I decided to take advantage of that deal. I'd even get another one for a friend. Here we have a Garbodor. Yeah, got this at a convention. Why they made a plushie out of Garbodor, I don't know, but I like it. I like Garbodor. I'm one of those few people who like Garbodor, just like I'm one of the few people who like Unknown. And last but not least in this batch, very recently made Oshawott plushie. This just might be the best plush I've made so far. Yeah, made from fleece and hand sewn and all that, and look at it. Oshawott. 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 Okay, so since that was definitely by far the shortest batch that we've done, now let's move on to Generation 6, aka Kalos, or Kalos, or the Pokemon France. Starting off with Chespin. This one's, I think by the time that Generation 6 came out, that era, that brand, that batch that I was talking about before was, well, discontinued, and now they're all Tommy, or Tommy, or whatever. So from this point forward, most of the generic store-bought ones will be like this. Much like this Esper. Again, Tommy. Look into its deadlights. Look. Come and play with us. I love Esper. Speaking of spooky scary, this is Halloween. This is Halloween. Yeah, it's a Gorgeist. It's the Jack-o'-lantern Pokemon. I don't know why it took them until Generation 6 to make a frickin' Jack-o'-lantern Pokemon. But anyway. Another spooky, scary. It's a Noibat. I'm the knight! Honestly, in my opinion, a better bat Pokemon than Zubat. A lot of people like Zubat, but I like this one better. It's my favorite bat Pokemon. Especially since it evolves into basically Dracula. Here we have a male Meowstick. For whatever reason, I can never find the female Meowstick. Just this one. Where's the female? Why is there only the male? I don't get it. Anyway. And here we get to the obligatory Pikachu knockoff. It's Dedenne. Personally, in my opinion, the weakest design-wise of all the Pikachu knockoffs, but not horrible or anything. I still like it. It's a little hamster that chews on its own tail. It's just, compared to the other ones, it's just the most forgettable, in my opinion. Here we have Bunnelby, which really I thought was just kind of a knockoff of Bunary. But then, of course, it evolves into this, you know, redneck thing instead of a, well, DeviantArt fodder, for lack of a better term. But I still like it. Tiny little Fennekin. One of those little loop ones. It goes in a backpack. Fennekin. And which brings me to the other of the two Pokemon plushies that I bought online. Braixen. I even a few years ago made a unboxing video about that. If you watch that, you'll notice just how elated I was to get this thing. I just love Braixen. I love it so much. It's just furry. It's just so much furry. It has a dress made of fur. It's just awesome. And which brings me to Delphox. It's still slightly before Braixen, but I like Delphox too. This one, yeah, got it at a store, and it's big, it's fluffy, has a flaming stick wand thing. And then we have Sylveon, one of the first Gen 6 plushies I ever got. It's a bit damaged because, for whatever reason, they glued the her ribbons onto her body, and I didn't like that, so I tried to remove that, but ended up just doing that to it. So I ended up I kind of had to tie her ribbons and knots around her ears and neck there, because it didn't look right. Anyway, last but not least, another plush from Mimi, aka Kitamon. It is a Litleo. One of the better ones I have from her. Very well made, very well crafted. I will link her DeviantArt in the description if you want to commission her. So yeah, that was the Generation 6 batch. Even shorter than the Generation 5. This one only ran like a little over 5 minutes. So yeah, we have plenty of time to just jump right into Generation 7, aka Alola, aka Sun and Moon. So, right off the bat, let us start with an Alolan Meowth. As I said in my Generation 1 batch video, Generation 1 Pokemon Alolan forms, I am counting as Alolan or Generation 7. For reasons that I explained in that video. But yeah, derpy, chibi little Alolan Meowth, whoops, that, you know, the string on top. Here we have an Alolan Rattata, which I slightly prefer over regular Rattata because this one looks like a mobster. Even got the mustache and is just like, nyeh, nyeh, nyeh. Gonna make him an offer, can't refuse. I can't do the Godfather voice, I can't. Now, here is the Generation 7, well, one of the two Generation 7 Pikachu knockoffs. Togedemaru. I kind of like Togedemaru. It's kind of like Meryl if it was an electric type. Little cute little face, round body, spikes, spiky tail. I like it. Yeah. Yeah, excuse me. Now we have one of the starters, Litten. It's a little fire cat, little whiskers. Also in that same patch, we have this Rockruff. I like the pose it's doing. I don't see a lot of plushies. They're either sitting or standing. Not many of them are like actually walking like that. Look at that. Look at it walking. Oops, maybe not. Just his leg is up. It's almost like it's about to pee. And continuing with that, you have Dusk Lycanroc. Got that at a convention recently, actually at Toronto Fan Expo. Even has a little dog collar and everything. Rah. Mouth moves. Rah. Very well made plush. Rah. Next we have the Loen Vulpix. I love this thing. It's just so white and floofy and snowy and just whoa. Whoa. Big floofy white Vulpix. Next we have big Alolan Sandslash. Like really big. It's like it doesn't even fit in the image. So big. Yeah, got this at a store, and these shoes, I made those. I wanted to give it shoes. Not sure why. I wanted to give it shoes. I like putting accessories on Pokemon. But yeah. It seems most of my Generation 7 batch are actually just Alolan forms. Another reason why I decided to make them count as as the Generation 7, otherwise this would have been the shortest video ever. And here's one of my favorites, Poplio. Little seal thing. I always imagine it like being in Pengu going Newt Newt! The Newt Newt Pokemon. Little blue Newt Newt. I love it. On that note, we have a Primarina made by Vicky J. Again, her DeviantArt will be linked in the description. Quite well made here. Made from minky fur, fleece, and stuffing. Hand sewn, clearly. I like it. Whoops. Bumped the camera. And here we have a store-bought, or rather convention-bought Primarina. This one's slimmer and has posable flippers. Look. Look at this. Look at it. Isn't that awesome? Posable flippers. Look at that. It's awesome. Anywho, now we are getting down to one of my favorite Alolan Pokemon. And one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, Mimikyu. Big Mimikyu. This one was actually bought for me by my friend Jackson, aka That Weird Collector, at a convention. It's big Mimikyu. Mimikyu. This one is a smaller Mimikyu I bought, but I added some stuff to it, like a little mohawk, little eyebrows, little rope necklace. Modeled it after my Mimikyu OC on DeviantArt called Mick. And last but not least, EVQ. Got this at a convention. It's a Mimikyu, but it's an EV. EVQ. And aside from one Pokemon plush that I had forgotten to mention in my Generation 2 video, and one that I couldn't find for my Generation 3, I will eventually, that pretty much covers it. I will just show you the one from Generation 2 right now that I missed. It's this Togetic. It's handmade, made it myself. The only problem with it is I used Sharpie for the detailing on it, which for the first month or so it started bleeding into my other plushies and made a bit of a mess. Hopefully now though it's in there pretty solid. I know a lot of people said that never use Sharpie to color in a plushie, but I don't have access to fabric paint. I don't have an embroidery machine, and the fleece fabric that I use is just too fragile to make fine details like that, so I had to make do. Anyway, still looks really awesome. I'm still really proud of this one. But that being said, that concludes, for now, my entire Pokemon plush collection as of November 2018. So, I've been Ace, keeping up your sleeve. Bye.